Those are actually some of the tweets around what Kenyans had to say, as well as Ugandans, just condemning that particular arrest that happened in Kasese, Uganda. Of course, it has raised a lot of eyebrows across the region, and we now want to bring in one of our journalists who works at Standard Media Group, and that is Paul Wafula. And we work closely with Paul Wafula in matters to do with business, and of course, Wafula has also interacted quite a number of times with our business team, that is the KTN business team. And Wafula, what do you make of this arrest that happened of our colleague Joy Doreen Birra in Uganda?
Abby, this was really a sad news coming through from Uganda, and we were shocked for the reasons why she was being arrested. And if you look even at the post that she made and what she was really talking about, it was everything that any journalist should be able to do, and it can actually be verified anywhere else. And you find a journalist being arrested for this kind of thing in this day and age. I think it is really sad. And if you look at it also, you kind of appreciate that even in Kenya right now, the strides that we've made in terms of freedom of expression, because I wouldn't expect the Kenyan government to be doing what they're doing in Uganda. So this is one way we actually open our eyes and see, okay, fine, that there's been some strides here in Kenya, but it's still unacceptable for governments to use power for this kind of reasons, where civilians are being killed, and then you get to arrest a journalist for this. This is really saddening information.
Well, Wafula, we understand that one of the reasons given for her arrest was that she was taking pictures and sending out tweets on Twitter and as well as Facebook. But of course, there's basic fundamental rights to freedom of expression. What do you make of this kind of allegation that has been raised by the Ugandan authorities?
I mean, Abby, look at it from this way in terms of credibility of your information, wherever she was doing the tweeting from. And when you are breaking a story on something that has happened that is of public interest, why is the Ugandan government so worried about what was happening? There were killings that were going on in that place. So, I mean, was she lying? Was this really something that she was supposed to speak about, that there are innocent people getting killed? So the excuse that they are giving that she might have misbehaved or gone to a restricted area, if you look at it honestly, it's not, because that can be verifiable. It's a place where people report from, is a place where journalists are allowed to work. So instead of really dealing with the problem, it was easy for you to deal with a journalist so that you simply gag the information from getting out, and then people get scared, and then this information not coming out, because government knows very well that they are culpable for this, and this is unacceptable, Abby.
And Wafula, just before I let you go, you've also handled a number of special reports in your line of work, and we get to see back in the day we had a media that was oppressed. There was a lot of intimidation of journalists, people sending you messages, people calling you up. Are we going back to those days?
I think we are sliding back in terms of that. And if you look even at the space, even Google, you are looking at people really clamping down on the freedom of expression at all levels. Governments are getting back to getting worried about the information cycle and when in information age. But it's not all lost, because these governments are not completely going to be there forever. Yeah. So as journalists and as people who love to be able to be doing our job properly, we have to fight this kind of environment for us to be actually appreciate the freedoms that we enjoy. So freedom has never come easy, but we have to continue fighting so that at least what information that needs to get to the public, it gets there. Because, Abby, the moment government shuts down information, that's the best way they can be able to do all the injustice that is going on. Look at the killing that is going on in Kenya even right now. Look at what's happening in Tanzania. Look at what's happening in Uganda. All these are really, governments standing against their own, or they're watching as their own citizens get killed. So if journalists don't speak out on tribal clashes, on cattle rustling, they don't speak out on police brutality, then who is going to do it? So, it's one of the nature of the job. We get threatened all the time, but as a journalist, it also comes to the territory. So our heart goes out to Doreen and what she's going through, but this is what really she has to go through to be able to get her message out.
Well, many thanks there, Paul Wafula, who is a journalist.